Today's lesson is Sleep Takes Out the Trash in Our Brains. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
And I'm Roger, and today we're going to continue talking about the importance of sleep. And we're going to talk about the fact that sleep helps get rid of all these toxins and waste products that form in your brain. Our brains are not perfect, of course. They're constantly evolving. They're constantly changing. And, of course, new things come in and old things go out. And there needs to be a process to get rid of those things. And sleep helps in that process.
Of course, we rest our bodies when we sleep, but it's really what's happening in our brains. And scientists found that in the brains of mice, at least, the space between the brain cells actually increases while they're sleeping. So their brains sort of expand in a way, you could say. And that allows many of the toxins that might get formed while we're creating memories. Many of those toxins can actually get flushed out. So when we say you're removing waste products from your brain when you're sleeping, we're not saying this as sort of a description of what's happening. No, this is literally what is happening. So that's why not getting enough sleep and not having those toxins, those waste products that are not good for you, not giving them the chance to get cleaned out, can have definitely bad effects and lead to possible situations like Alzheimer's disease, depression, other mental illnesses that most of us would want to avoid. So getting good sleep is super important. Here's the good news. Today, we are going to have a well-researched list of things that you can do to try to have better sleep health, to avoid some of these problems, and to have the happiest, healthiest brain possible. Let's get into our article and find out all about it.
Though most of us know that getting quality sleep is essential for our well-being, sometimes that's easier said than done. So, here are some tips that might help.
大家好，第一部分介绍形容词 quality， 它的意思是优良的或是优质的意思。例如 The quality of the restaurant's food has gone down in recent months. 近几个月来，这家餐厅的食物品质下滑。或者 The company prides itself on selling quality merchandise at affordable prices. 该公司以平价贩售优质商品而自豪。
Okay, so we, of course, are going to begin our lesson today by talking about the first part of our lesson. So here it says, though most of us know that getting quality sleep is essential for our well-being, sometimes that's easier said than done. Okay, that does sound true. Of course, lots of us live in the big cities here in Taiwan, and we have busy lives. We're studying really hard to pass those exams to get into a good university or to get a good job. And once we get that good job, my goodness, we're working all the time. We're working overtime, and then we've got to get together with our friends and have a nice meal, and we stay up late looking at our phones. So indeed, we just seem to not be getting enough sleep these days. Even though that's true, we know that it's difficult to get quality sleep. Indeed, quality sleep means sleep that is good for you. It's not just really quick sleep like an hour here, an hour there. No, we've got to have a good night's sleep that lasts from, say, 11 p.m. until 7 in the morning. And that's a quality sleep in which we actually are well rested and we feel fresh and revived when we wake up in the morning. That, of course, is essential or important for our well-being. Well-being, of course, just means our health, our general state of health. And, of course, we're describing that as being in good health.
So good amounts of sleep is important for good health. We all know that, but as the sentence wraps up, it says sometimes that's easier said than done. When you're being given advice and it sounds wise and sensible, and yeah, I know I should do that, but it's actually really hard to do that, right? It's easy to give the advice, but to actually put that advice into practice is much harder than just saying, oh, well, you should just go and do this, right? I remember one time I was at the vet with my cat. This is an old cat I had, and the vet looked at me and said, your cat is overweight. And I said, okay, what should I do? And he said, you should get your cat to exercise more. And then I just kind of looked at him like, Thinking about, do you know how hard it is to get a cat to exercise? If it wants to run around, it will. As soon as it doesn't, it's just going to flop down on the floor. You could have all the mice in the world running around it, and that cat is just going to ignore it. So getting a fat cat to exercise is easier said than done. Luckily, when I looked at the vet, like, really? That's easier said than done. He looked at me and he said, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. That's a bad suggestion. Here's some diet food or something like that.
Well, you could actually put the cat in one of those wheels or something and make it run laps or something.
But then as soon as he gets bored, he'll climb out of the wheel, and that's that. It's easier said than done. But that's the expression, right? We're basically saying wonderful advice, hard to put into practice in the real world. But there are some good tips coming up, and I think you'll see that many of these tips are not really easier said than done. A lot of them aren't too tough. But let's get to it. So here are some tips that might help. Now we're going to check out the tips in the middle part of our article.
1. Maintain a regular sleep schedule. Go to bed and get up at the same times each day, including on weekends. Teenagers should get 8 to 10 hours of sleep per day, while adults should get at least 7. 2. Watch what you eat. Don't go to bed hungry or too full. Also, avoid foods and drinks containing caffeine, such as chocolate and coffee, for at least 6 hours before bedtime. 3. Create a good environment. Your bedroom should be dark, quiet, and reserved for sleeping. Don't look at your phone or watch TV in bed. 4. Be active. Regular physical activity, especially outdoors, will help you sleep better. 5. Put away your worries. It's easy to be plagued by worries when we should be sleeping. Relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing exercises, can help you get to sleep and improve sleep quality.
第二部分看到动词 reserve 表示把点点点专门留给或是保留。例如 Joanne has reserved the table for us at the restaurant. Joanne 已经替我们在餐厅订好位了。或是 Jimmy reserves his gray suit for weddings. Jimmy 将他的灰色西装保留给参加婚礼用。接着看到动词 plague 它的意思是不断困扰或是折磨。例如This project has been plagued with problems from the start. 这个专案从一开始就不断出现问题。也可以说 Production on Harriet's film was plagued with rumors of on-set fighting. Harriet 的电影在制片过程中饱受片场的争执谣言所苦。再来介绍名词 relaxation 表示放松、松弛，也可以是消遣的意思。我们可以说 The doctor told me that these pills are good for aiding relaxation.医生告诉我这些药丸有助于放松。又或者说 Whether you're looking for relaxation or adventure, Hawaii is the perfect place to visit. 无论你是在寻找消遣还是冒险，夏威夷都是值得造访的好地方。继续看到名词 technique 它的意思是技法、技能，也是技术的意思。例如 Joseph showed me some techniques to improve my memory. Joseph 向我展示了一些改善我记忆的技巧。又或者说 Knitting sweaters isn't as difficult once you learn a few techniques. 一旦你学会几个技术之后，编织毛衣就比较不困难了。
My goodness, those were a lot of tips there, so let's break them down one by one. So here's tip number 1. Maintain a regular sleep schedule. If you maintain something, you just keep it the same way over and over. You don't let it change. And indeed, you want to have a regular sleep schedule. Don't let it change too much. Don't sleep 1 hour one night and 6 hours the next night. Keep it regular. Keep it consistent. Go to bed and get up at the same times each day, including on weekends. So, of course, as we know, it's hard to do that. Sometimes we have to stay up really late until midnight or 1 or 2 or whatever because we have to finish an assignment or something like that. But still, try your best to get a regular sleep schedule. For me, I have a pretty regular sleep schedule. I pretty much go to sleep at 11 o'clock every night and I get up at around 6 in the morning. I'm more of a morning person. I don't like to stay up late like some people do. But in any case, I do have a pretty regular sleep schedule. schedule. And yes, indeed, this should also be included on weekends. Although, again, that's easier said than done because on weekends, sometimes we want to go out and party on Friday night. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Let's go out and party. Let's stay up until 3 or 4 in the morning and go dancing or whatever. But you should still try to keep this regular sleep schedule, even on the weekend or even on holidays.
That is absolutely true. And that also cuts out all that sleeping in. No more sleeping in until noon on Saturdays or Sundays. That will definitely affect your sleep schedule. To give you a good idea of what you should be aiming for, we have these numbers. It says teenagers should get 8 to 10 hours of sleep per day. Wow, that's easier said than done, definitely. While adults should get at least 7. So teenagers with their growing bodies and active lives should get a bit more sleep, but adults should still get around 7 hours a day. A regular 7 hours, as Roger explained. All right, so that's good advice. Get some good sleep and stick with your sleep program. Don't mess with that schedule. Part 2, or number 2, watch what you eat. Yeah, the food in your stomach can affect the sleep and the health benefits of that sleep for your brain. It says don't go to bed hungry or too full. So both of those, being either very hungry, if you think, oh, I'll be on a diet, I'll eat a small snack at 5 p.m. and then just not eat all night. This is a great way to lose weight. Well, then you're going to be going to bed hungry. That won't be good. In the same way that having that huge late night snack of that extra pizza from dinner that you didn't finish, having that at 11 p.m. right before you go to bed, that's not a good idea either. So don't go to bed hungry or too full. Also, this makes sense. Avoid foods and drinks containing caffeine, such as chocolate and coffee. Caffeine, of course, is a drug that can keep you awake. A lot of people like coffee for that reason. You might have a cup in the morning to help you wake up, or in the afternoon to avoid that mid-afternoon sort of tired time that you might feel a few hours after lunch. But do avoid it after dinner, it says, for at least 6 hours before bedtime. So maybe even cut out that after-dinner cup of coffee that you might enjoy. Maybe make that one in the afternoon or after lunch, the last one of the day. You want to go to bed with a pleasantly full stomach and as little caffeine in your body as possible.
Exactly. So this is some good advice. Watch what you eat. Be careful about your diet. And here's tip number 3. Create a good environment. Okay, so your bedroom should be dark, quiet, and reserved for sleeping. Don't look at your phone or watch TV in bed. Now, that is a pretty tall order there for most people. Of course, when we go to bed and we lie down, we're going to have to look at that phone to check messages or to go on the internet or watch YouTube videos or check out Instagram or whatever. Of course, that's pretty hard to do, but still, if you want to clean out those toxins from your brain and if you don't want to end up with Alzheimer's disease when you're older, then maybe you should put that phone down and make your bedroom kind of dark. Make sure there's not a lot of extra light because the brain does get fooled into thinking it's still daytime. If you make things nice and dark, the brain will think it's actually night and that it's time to sleep. And also the bedroom should be quiet. So if you have noisy neighbors or something like that, just close the windows or tell them to keep quiet. Of course, that's easier said than done. Sometimes neighbors like to stay up late singing karaoke or whatever. But in any case here, that's the point here. Keep the bedroom nice and dark, nice and quiet, and it's reserved for sleeping, which means you have to determine that your bedroom is for sleeping only, okay? You're not going to go in there and work on your computer or play games or have your friends in there or whatever. The bedroom is strictly for sleeping, and that should help you sleep better.
That's right. This is for all the people with that really big TV in their bedroom, and they like to lie in bed after dinner and watch movies, and then they try to sleep in the same bed. You might find that your brain is not able to sort of switch from relaxation, TV watching mode to sleeping mode, especially if you're in the same location, in the same environment. So that's good advice. Also, don't look at your phone or watch TV in bed. A lot of us know that the blue light from our screens and our phones and laptops and other things, televisions as well, it can help your brain to wake up. It kind of mimics sunlight. So it convinces your brain that it's daytime when you're looking at that phone late at night, looking at your screen late at night. Here's another good bit of advice. Be active. This doesn't mean when you're trying to sleep. We're not telling you to sleep on a bicycle or something like that. This is in the other times in your life, the other hours of the day. Regular physical activity, especially outdoors, will help you sleep better. Well, sure, if your body is tired, you will probably find it easier to fall asleep. That makes sense. If you get out there, especially in nature, you're breathing lots of fresh air, your heart's beating, your muscles are pumping, all that kind of stuff, that will definitely be good for you. This is physical activity. You could get mental activity by doing word puzzles and Sudokus or things like that, and that could tire you out, right? I mean, think if you're spending all day studying in the library, that can exhaust your brain and that makes you feel tired. But physical activity, making your body physically tired, muscles and bones and things like that, that of course will make you feel much more inclined to sleep. So not just working on your brain by solving puzzles, but you also need to be exercising, running around, jumping, playing sports, things like that. Here's a good bit of advice again, maybe one that's easier said than done. Number 5, put away your worries. I think this is one that a lot of us could definitely benefit from if we could do this.
That's difficult, but yes, don't worry about things too much. Worry about them during the day when you have to worry about them. So again, it's easy to be plagued by worries when we should be sleeping. So if you're plagued by something, you're worried by something. And yes, when we're sleeping, of course, we keep thinking about what happened during the day. Oh, what did the boss say to me? What did he mean by that? Don't worry about that. Worry about that the next day. Your goal should be to sleep. Relaxation techniques such as deep breathing exercises can help you get to sleep and improve sleep quality. So this is all about relaxing. Relaxation is the noun here. It refers to the process of relaxing. So we have these techniques or tools that you can use, special skills, and there are various ones. You can probably look them up on the internet. One of these relaxation techniques is deep breathing exercises. So that's kind of like meditation. Just concentrate on your breathing and don't have short breaths, have longer ones, and that can help you get to sleep, and it will improve your sleep quality.
All right, that's all the time we have for that part of the article, but we'll be back in a second to wrap things up. So let's just finish off the article, and then we'll come back to chat about it.
Good sleep means a healthier brain and a happier future. So put these strategies into practice to ensure that you get a good night's sleep.
第3部分我们看到名词 strategy 指的是策略、计谋，也可以是战略的意思。举例来说 Setting targets is an important part of any business strategy. 设定目标是任何商业策略中重要的一环。又或者说I have a clear strategy for winning the game. 我有明确的战略可以在比赛中胜出。最后看到动词 ensure， 它表示确保或是保证。我们可以说 I ensure that we can all get home safely. 我保证我们都可以安全的到家。也可以说 We need to ensure that there are no more accidents in the office. 我们需要确保办公室里不再发生意外。
Okay, so the last part of our lesson is very short here, but it is the summary, and it says good sleep means a healthier brain and a happier future. So again, we've stressed or emphasized the fact that you need to get quality sleep, and that's based on those surveys we talked about in our lesson last time, in which scientists have proven that our brains clean out toxins during the night when we're sleeping, and it's very important to maintain our well-being and to not get sick in the future. So again, you need to maintain a good quality sleep schedule, and that will translate into a healthier brain. And if you have a healthy brain, you'll be smarter, you'll be happier, and you'll have a happier future. And who knows, you might actually make more money that way. So put these strategies into practice to ensure that you get a good night's sleep. So here we've got a strategy, which is a special plan. And if you want to act on that plan, you want to make it an active plan, then you put that strategy into practice. You do what you're supposed to do.
Exactly right. So you have a plan and you actually use the plan. You see if the plan can help you to reach that goal. We hope that you do reach that goal because that will ensure that you get a good night's sleep, which is, of course, something we would all definitely want and most of us would benefit from. To ensure in this case means basically to make sure, to guarantee, to see that it does happen, right? So if you follow these strategies, put them into practice with a bit of luck, you will guarantee yourself a good night's sleep. You will get that sleep that you deserve, and your brain will be able to effectively flush those toxins out in that mysterious process that happens in the middle of the night. And we would all benefit from that, I'm sure.
Yes, we certainly hope that all of you can get a good night's sleep and that you can flush all those toxins out of your brain in the toilet in the morning. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. Here comes Hanny, whose brain is as clear as crystal.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分有列出一些帮助睡眠的建议。那第3点他提到说，卧室应该要昏暗、安静，并且留给睡觉用。文中是用动词 reserve 来表达把什么专门留给或是保留的意思。好，那这边我们就来区分一下 reserve、preserve 还有 conserve 这3个动词的差异。首先 reserve 当动词，它有保存、保留或是预约、预定的意思哦。好，它当保存、保留解释时，这通常是指预先保留某事物，以便日后可以用，或者是就是专门留给某一种特定用途，或是保留给某人的意思。那么 reserve 当预约、预定解释时，常用来表达像预定饭店房间啊、餐厅位子、机票等等。像我们说 reserve a table for 4， 就是预定一桌4个人的位置。接着看到 preserve， 它当动词有保存、维护或维持的意思。好，首先来看 preserve， 它可以指维持某事物原本的样子，或是维持它良好的状态，也可以表达出使什么免于受损、伤害、摧毁。Preserve 常常就用来表达维护历史建筑啊，保存某个文化传统等等。另外，它还可以用来表达维持保存食物的新鲜，不让它腐烂。所以像我们造个例句就是 Salt can be used to preserve food， 就是说盐可以用来保存食物。再来看到 conserve， 它当动词呢，有保存、保护或是节省的意思。首先呢 conserve 它可以表达出使什么安全免于伤害、摧毁。当这个意思来解释时，它意思就跟 preserve 差不多。我们常常就会用 conserve 去表达保护自然资源啊，保护野生动物等等。另外 conserve 它还可以表达节约使用，像我们说 conserve energy 就是节省能源， conserve water 节约用水等等。接着我们看到课文它的第5点建议是 put away your worries， 是指收起你的烦恼。那 put away 在这边是指把什么收起来、收好。像爸妈可能会对孩子说 put away your toys, it's time for lunch， 把玩具收好，午餐时间到咯。那其实 put away 还有其他意思哦，像第一个它可以表达储存、储藏，那可以表达把什么存起来的意思。当我们说 put money away for college， 就可以表达为了上大学而存钱。第二个，在口语当中 put away 它有吃的意思，通常是指大量的食物，所以同学们可以想象把眼前一大堆食物通通收到肚子里面，收好收满，这样也许你就会记得 put away 它有吃的意思了。第3个，我们可以用 put somebody away 或者是 put away somebody 用来表达说把某人送入什么什么，可能是送入监狱啊、精神病院等等。好，那么以上今天重点整理，我们就来回顾今天的单字吧。
Quality. German car makers are famous for their quality work. Reserve.
She reserved the last slice of cake for her boyfriend, since she knew it was his favorite dessert.
Physical. Doug's delivery job has some physical requirements, including the ability to lift heavy objects. Relaxation. After a busy day, a little relaxation at home was just what Isabel needed. Technique. Claire applied a technique that she learned in cooking school to the dish to make it even crispier. Strategy. We need a new strategy to increase sales. Ensure. The lock on the home's front door is meant to ensure the security of the people living there.
Discussion Starter starts now!
It's time now for our discussion starter for today, and here's the question. Are there any tips from the article that you do or do not follow? Why or why not?
I would say yes. I always make sure that I leave my phone and my screens and other things outside of the bedroom, since I do find that light keeps me awake. And I also find that reading a normal paper book helps me to fall asleep rather efficiently. So that is a definite rule I follow.
Well, I sometimes fail to get a good night's sleep because I wake up too early in the morning because my window is right next to a couple of trees, and every morning at about 4 or 5 o'clock, the light-vented bulbuls that live in the neighborhood, the baitawang, will start chirping loudly, and I'll wake up too early, and that will affect my good night's sleep.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Roger. See you next time.